Kaizad, before you start, there's a question we've been wanting to ask you. So, are you all set for it?
Yes, you can never be set for something. I do have jitters in my stomach, but I guess I'll be all right moving along and show you some very beautiful.
No, I mean it's not as grilling and as what do you say, tough as you're making it sound. But we were reading your bio, and this one line wowed each one of us to the point that we have to know the backstory of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that line is make $1 million look like 10 million. Mr. Kaizad, over to you. What is the backstory behind this amazing line?
Well, there could be many meanings for that, but what I'm trying to say is, see that like it had a lot to do with contentment actually. See, a lot of times people today have most of the things that we need to keep ourselves happy, right? But it's never enough, and even $1 million is not enough. So to say, it's like when's my next million coming? Then the moment you get the first million. So I think it's a spiritual thing that one is how you can add value not only to the other person who's facing it. So, for example, like today I'm facing a customer. I may not have the right communication skills or may not have the right product knowledge to convey the value proposition for my customer. How can I make $1 million look like that? Not in a bad way, not in a cheating manner, not in a gimmickry manner, but in an authentic manner. And secondly, there's a spiritual meaning for all of us that if you have X amount of money, X amount of lifestyle, X amount of happiness in your life, be grateful for that, and count it as more when you look down. Whatever that you're having today is something. It's a dream for millions of other people out there.
My God, Mr. Kaizad, wow. I always say this whenever I hear something as contextual and as spiritual as you said, right? One of the best TED Talks in what 30 seconds. Fantastic answer. Making $1 million look 10 basically means that firstly you'll never be happy with what you have. So how do you truly be content with what you have? Fantastic. What a start to your segment, Mr. Kaizad.
I'd like to start by introducing myself to everyone, and thank you very much for listening in, whoever is there. I wish to make your next 15 to 20 minutes. It's 4:44. I will end in exactly 20 minutes. Very important. I'm from the real estate field. I represent the very amazing and one of the top 3 brands in real estate in the MMR region in Mumbai, which is Rustomjee Developers. This is my 17th year going straight, first organization that I've joined in real estate, total cumulative experience of 31 years plus, including 10 to 11 years in the hospitality industry. That's a quick brief background for myself. I started as a waiter when I was 19, 20 years of age, and I'm very proud and happy that I took that route because 30 years back, it taught me what means importance of Seva Bhava. What we say is, a lot of people say Atithi Devo Bhava, correct? At Rustomjee, we teach each other and we remind each other, it's a customer Devo Bhava. For us, I tell my people, I tell my staff, I tell my vendors, I tell my channel partners that we have not seen God. Some people, I don't know if somebody has seen God, but I have not seen God. For me, there are 2 gods. One is my parents and second is my customers. So that's the kind of respect that we have for customers at Rustomjee. I'd like to start by my first point, that is importance of taking care of the customer after the sale. Now, that question is very rhetorical in nature. I mean, why would somebody not want to take care of the customer after the sale? As a matter of fact, when I interview MBAs fresh MBAs who come from all these big savvy colleges, and ask them, please name some of the marketing channels that you could use to get us more customers. So they name everything under the sun, which is like hoardings and digital marketing and newspapers and everything. Nobody says that customer relations or customer service, Seva Bhav, the service to the customer, is a marketing channel. I find that very shocking. That why do they not teach this in the MBA colleges? Like, why is only 1 or 2 or 3? Why do we have a myopic vision of customer service? So at Rustomjee, we believe our first and most important channel of of procuring more customers, of sales, of future growth is our customers. Not only because it represents more revenue for us, but we genuinely believe that I always tell my staff, there are 2 angles to life. I mean, imagine life to be like a train. Now, we have a set of wheels on the left side, we have a set of wheels on the right side. I mean, if you are dealing with money on the left and money on the right and money in the middle, and it's all money, after some time you could get a little derailed or deranged, one of the 2, whichever comes first. Yeah. So I tell people, see, money is important because that's important for our growth. It's important for our existence. But that's one set of the left side of the train, the wheels of the train. The right side of the wheels of the train is gratitude. It's contentment. It's genuine seva bhav, service, not for the sake of generating more revenue, not with the intention that I seva karunga to mo meva milega, not that kind of thing, but with the intention is that I morally owe it to that customer. We morally owe it to that customer. Yesterday I was doing a channel partner seva, you can say, again I call it seva only, which is we were teaching our channel partners how they can do better sales. Now, because of them learning to do better sales via Rustomjee, it doesn't affect Rustomjee directly. They can go and do better sales for 20 other developers in the country or in the city. It doesn't matter to us as long as the industry is growing and everybody is benefiting. So I told them, I said, see, tonight, and I tell this to my staff, I keep repeating this 100 times. I've lost count of how many times I've repeated. I said, gentlemen, ladies, the food that you eat on the table, and I say this to everybody, irrespective of what industry you are from and whoever is listening. Tonight, when you eat your food, think who has put this food on your table. Yes, of course, your hard work and your smart work and your efforts have definitely put it on the table, but who has actually paid for this food? So I first say thanks to the farmers who have worked very hard. Some unknown stranger, some unknown farmer who's really sweated out blood, sweat, and tears, and he's put that food on my table. Secondly, is I thank my parents, and most important, thirdly, is I thank my customer. I said this food has been sponsored by my customers' money, and I have to value that. I respect the customer that much that I even think of them while eating my food. We go on holidays, we educate our children, we enjoy the good things in life. Every time we need to keep reminding, this is the gratitude we should have towards our customers. Everything that I have in my life, everything we have in our lives is because of our customers. So I think that moral responsibility towards customers. And I think when you speak to our customers, when you communicate to your customers, if you genuinely have this in your heart, this vibration or these vibes will definitely pass on. So, I mean, first question, why is it important to take care of customers? It makes business sense, as well as I think it's a moral and a spiritual, and it's a beautiful thing. Today morning, I was listening to a small speech on a doctor giving the importance of longevity, what makes people live a long life. So he said, the biggest thing is your mind should be very, very clean. There should be no grudges. You should be very, very forthright, very genuine, not only towards your customers, but towards everybody. The person who does not hold no grudges in their heart and who has, that seva bhav for people, that person lives the longest. So, I mean, not only from the point of view of business growth, but not only from the point of view of love and respect, but even from the point of view of your life longevity, it's so beautiful that you should take care of our customers. It's good for everybody. At Rustomjee, 30% of our average sales, and I think that's the ballpark figure for most branded developers, and that's a huge money when you're thinking crores. It's 30% of our sales comes from the customers, and we accept that with a lot of gratitude, right? Very, very famous statistic. 7 out of 10 customers. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. It costs 6 times more. Another one reason, a financial reason why we should take care of a customer after the sale. It costs 6 times more, 600% more to acquire a fresh customer than to retain and serve an existing one. So that's it from point number 1 of why we should take care of our customers. What does Rustomjee do to take care of its customer after the sale? Quickly answer that question as well. We have 3 departments, and I say this very, very proudly, and not arrogantly, but happily and proudly. And I wish more people, not only developers, but I wish even more other industry people can adopt this practice. We have created 3 departments to serve the customer after the sale. Department number 1 is our CREST, which is our facility management department. Literally, we are there 24 hours, 24/7. We are there to take care of the small nitty-gritty and the big and small needs of our customers. Second is we have something called Lease Smart. Lease Smart is a department which takes care of the resale needs of our investors, the resale needs of our customers. They want to upgrade, they want to move on to a better place. We help them, and we logistically help them with all the things that are involved with that. And the third important department is our customer relationship department. This department is not, it's separate than the department which collects the money and does the MIS and all. This is a very, very dedicated department simply to serve the customer. Means we engage our customers, we give them experiences. Like, you'll be happy to know, most people will be happy to know, I was asked this question, how do you engage your customers at Rustomjee? How do you engage your customers and give them better experiences? Well, I can go on for more than half an hour on this topic, but I'll very quickly tell you a few examples. So we have a customer at one of our premium gated communities at BKC, which is at Seasons. It's called Seasons. We have a customer who's a kind of a mental health expert. So we got him once, and he gave a very nice, beautiful seminar to the other customers on what we should do to have a positive attitude and a positive mental health. What should we do to improve the longevity? We have another customer, Miss Sangeeta Jani. She's very closely associated with the art of living. She did a webinar recently for our customers on holistic living and how taking care of your health is important for the entire family and for everybody and the well-being of all. We have two and more authors in one of our another gated communities, Paramount at Car. They have written beautiful books. So one is Deepa Rajani, and she's written The Magic of Awaken Your Soul. So it's called Awaken Your Soul. So we have kept her books at the sales lounge, not with any intention of selling, but with the intention of telling our customer, look, these are the kind of beautiful people, these are the kind of good gentry that you will be mingling with when you come here. We have another customer, Mr. Gautam Ganglani, who's written a book, Breaking Bread. We kept his book in the sales lounge. Like, I mean, not, again, zero revenue, it's just thoughtful. It's just thoughtful. Let's make them happy. Let's make the customer who's reading the book happy. Let's make the author, who's my already existing customer, happy that we are promoting his book. There's nothing you can say, well, then no selfish interest in that. As a matter of fact, that's what drives Rustomjee customer service. Absolutely selfless attitude. We never think humko milne wala kya hai. We just want one thing. Humko blessings mangta hamare customer ka, or humko smile mangta. We want a smile on our customer's face. But that's our two major objectives. We believe in the Bhagavad Gita policy. Karma karo, phal to aa hi jayega. Aayega to theek hai, nahi aayega to seva karte jao. Ek na ek din to aa hi jayega. So that's genuinely what we go by over here. We also had one customer, and I'm very proud, and this is amazing that this customer has actually climbed Mount Everest. He has summited Mount Everest. So he was so proud of his own achievement. He came and asked me, saying, "Can I do a seminar for your team and motivate them?" I said, "Why not?" So we got our whole team together, and he did a beautiful presentation on the preparation and the whole thing, and so. I mean, it was an inspiration for us. If he was so happy, we were happy. Like this, we keep doing intervention after intervention after intervention. Recently, my team at Paramount have started playing cricket with the customers. The customers are challenging us, who is better at cricket. So, we take a half-an-hour break and we, play cricket with the customers. And this is like down to the basic level of love. There's no selfish interest in this. It's just fun. It's just love. It's just pure love. It's connection. Nothing else. Nothing more than that. The kind of detailing thought, the granular detail that we focus in our we focus towards our customers. Also, it shows up in the design philosophy of ours. The way we design our homes, the small, numerous, countless thoughtful things. I could go on, listing them, but to name a few, we are already started putting electric car park charging points in all our projects. Although right now there may not be a single customer having an electric car, but we are very, very futuristic. So we have electric car park points. We have laundromats in our recent projects out here. We have an ATM machine so customers don't have to go out. We have saloon and spa inside the gated communities of ours, so the customer doesn't have to go to the local hajam. With due respect to him, that's a different fun by itself, but it's a choice we give to the customer, right? We do so many things like valet parking. And recently, one of my directors thought that we have a beautiful project, Prabhadevi, at Prabhadevi, it's called The Crown, is 60th floor. So we thought, like, if some senior citizen or some customer who's come from outside and they're tired and they have to stand in the lift, although it'll take just 1 minute to go from the ground floor to the 60th floor, we've kept benches, special lifts designed for us, for our customers, so they can sit in the lift, So that kind of small thoughtful. We have mobile boosters inside the lift so that if you're talking and you walk into the lift, the phone does not get cut. So everything we eat, we sleep, we breathe, we just like crazy passionate. I think I would even go to the extent of being obsessed with customer delight. We are totally obsessed with customer delight in a positive way. Although obsession is slightly could have a negative connotation, but we are absolutely in a positive way obsessed with our customer happiness. We literally bend backwards. I'll tell you one more example comes to my mind. A few years back, 3-4 years back, one of my customers was coming from the US and he was headed to Ahmedabad, and he told us that I have just 1 hour in the city and I want to see my unit how it's shaping up, but there's only one condition. I can come at only 5:30 or 6 in the morning to see it. Can you arrange that? And my colleague Navrang, he without blinking an eye said, "Yes, sir, of course we can arrange that." And we put special spotlights. Our engineering team, the supportive team that it is, they put spotlights, and at 5:36 in the morning, the customer could see the building. He went to his flat, and then he took the connecting flight to Ahmedabad. It's so amazing that that. And see, this is something I believe customer service to a certain extent you cannot train in the room. It is something people have in their heart. So when human resource people are hiring, I mean, I would advise this to every single organization. How do you create a customer-centric culture? The first way is, at the bud, you have to create the customer-centric culture is when you're hiring the right people. I mean, if you hire the right people, the culture will take care of itself. If you hire a person who is genuinely loving to do seva, so we focus on airline industry recruits, we focus on hospitality industry recruits, any person who has done seva, in their life in the past. If they've not done seva, I make it a point to ask a question in my interviews. Mr. Ashish, could you please tell me, when is the last time you did a good deed for somebody, without expecting anything in return? So I listen to the answer of that question, and if that person tells me XYZ good deed you have done recently, and it touches my heart, I know he's the right person, his heart is in the right place, her heart is in the right place, and automatically the rest, like we hire for attitude, we train for skills. The attitude of customer service has to be there in your heart. It's very difficult to train on that. So I think culture starts with hiring the right people for the right job. Okay. Jeff Bezos has said, today, if you make a customer angry in the physical world, they may go and tell 6 people, okay, I don't like XYZ organization. But if you make a customer angry on the internet, they may tell 6,000 people. One of the things I'd like to quickly cover is, how do you handle irate? Means with the best of the intentions, you may have the best of the intentions, you may be the best organization in the world, you may follow whatever X 6 Sigma, 7 Sigma, 20 Sigma. I mean, nature of things is that things can go wrong. I just told you we had some of the latest technology of the mic right now, but something happened to the technology and I had to go back to my tablet. I mean, you never know what can go wrong. In those instances, when a customer is irate, how do you handle an irate customer? This is something very, 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 very important. There is a very clearly scientific worldwide statistic that 7 out of 10 irate customers will do business with you again, provided you resolve the complaint in their favor. Yeah. Out of these 7 out of 10, 95% of these will do business with you again, and maybe on the spot, if you resolve their complaint on the spot. 95% of the irate customers will do business with you again if you resolve the complaint on the spot. 68 to 70% of the customers, 68 to 70% of the customers leave and they will never come back to you. Mainly, number one, due to an attitude of indifference by the organization or an attitude of indifference by the individual. So these are some of the things that we need to take care of. As and when you meet an irate customer, what should we do? What are the 2, 3, 4 things we should do? First is response at the speed of light. You have to respond at the speed of light. If a customer is complaining to you and you are like, oh, dekhte kya hoga, and you're stretching yourself, having your morning cup of coffee, and then you go for a workout and you say, I will respond later, that's not going to work. I mean, I always tell people, respond at the speed of lightning. Respond at the speed of lightning. As fast as lightning, you have to respond to the customer. He sends an email, you may not have a solution at that moment. So, oh, how can I respond at the speed of light? I don't know what to answer. At least acknowledge the customer. Yes, ma'am, I'm very, very sorry, and it genuinely grieves me that you have had to go through this inconvenience. I acknowledge your pain. I acknowledge your grudge. I acknowledge your complaint. I will revert to you with a solution. Allow me a time, X amount, give me 3 hours. In the next 3 hours, I put a stopwatch on. In 3 hours, I call back. I see what I can do to resolve the customer complaint. I revert back to the customer. So number one is 40 to 50% of the angst of the customer, the anger of the customer reduces when you revert back at the speed of light. Once you revert back, yeah. And ideally, you should revert not only on the mail, of course, you should make a quick call and it should be like, in tandem with each other. Once you're on the call, there's a very high probability the customer is like venting and they have a AK-47, AK-57, AK-77, AK-157. I mean, you never know what's on the other side until you are on the line. I mean, you have to go totally built up to, expect the best and hope for the worst. Oh, sorry, expect the best and hope for the worst. No. I don't know how that works, but it could be the other way around, but you got my meaning, what I'm trying to say, right? Once we are on the line with the customer, it's like I do deep breathing. I make sure I keep telling myself, Kaizad, do not interrupt. Team, do not interrupt the customer. Acknowledge the customer. Genuinely acknowledge the customer. Don't become silent when, at that point, but feel the pain. When the customer is in pain, you have to absorb the pain. You have to feel the pain. And one of the best, listening is the highest form of respect you can give anyone. Listening is the highest form of respect you can give anyone. Listen attentively, active listening, proactive listening, attentive listening, immersive listening is what we train our team on over here at Rustomjee. And that itself, once a customer feels heard, once a customer feels that, Arey, Kaizad ko maine mera problem bataya, and he's understood my problem, he feels my pain, automatically the customer's 50% anger comes down. Take notes while they're talking, repeat, summarize those notes, ma'am, these are the 3 areas of your concern. I've noted them down. Allow me to speak to the concern and get back to you. This is the time. Regular updates. Whatever time you promise them, become like a Chulbul Pandey. What did Chulbul Pandey say in his movie? एक बार मैंने वचन दे दिया तो फिर अपने भी मैं नहीं सुनता हूँ. So be like that. Do not let there be thunderstorms. Until there's a major earthquake and we are all dying, I will revert back to the customer. I don't care if I'm in hospital or wherever I am. I'll make sure somebody else reverts. If I give my word, I will keep it. So one thing you can give and still keep is your word. That's what our director, Mr. Kaizad Hateria, taught us 16 years back when I entered. One thing you can give and still keep is your word. That's the philosophy we go with. So I think a lot of people, अरे यार angry customer है, तू देख ले. I said no, angry customer मैं देखेगा, सब लोग देखेंगे, और दिल से देखेंगे, because it is even Mother Teresa said, before a person gets angry, that person has to be sad. Only a sad person gets angry. And why is a person sad? Because there was an expectation and the reality. There's a gap between the expectation and reality. Then that's where we come in. Our job is to make sure that expectation and reality is bridged, and we be that bridge between that expectation and reality. Turn that angry customer into a happy customer, a delighted customer. The sleep that you get that night when you are like, wow, I did a good day's work. You made somebody happy. It's not only about money. It's not only about a job. मैंने मेरा काम किया. It's not that. It's about a spiritual happiness, a spiritual fulfillment that you get. So I think that's what about sums up what I would like to share. And I would like to encourage everybody who's watching this show. Yes, money is important. Growth is important, and it's very important that the organization should grow. And we should know that there's only one way our organization will grow, is making our customers happy. One last point. Another 30 seconds, 60 seconds. I genuinely. I tell a lot of organizations think, "Arey, mera jo customer is the person who buys from us." But at Rustomjee, I believe my colleagues are my customers. Our channel partners, our brokers are our customers. Our vendors are customers. So I think somewhere we need to remove those blinkers and blinders, and we have to have a 360-degree view that every single person who comes in touch, who's helping us to grow, who's helping us, the suppliers, they are also our customers. Every person has to be treated like a customer. So I mean that is what I would like to encourage everyone. Go forth, make people happy, and the happiness will reap its own rewards. Love to everybody. Thank you for listening in, and that's it.
Mr. Kaizad, I mean, before I start with showering compliments on you, of course, we have to read our amazing audience members, right? We've got Sunita Rawat, who writes in, rightly elaborated, Mr. Kaizad, and Mr. Vibhor Pandey, who writes in, very, very well said. Mr. Kaizad, I think from the very start, right? Customer Devo Bhava. Wow, what a line. I mean, you set the bar right there. That was the first line, and you set the bar right there. You officially uplifted GCX Summit to an Art of Living course. So, Mr. Kaizad, I have to ask, where do I sign up to hear you talk after this? Because in the next 30 seconds, I don't know when will I hear you next. Is there a podcast or YouTube channel that you run? Because if you do, like you said, I definitely will turn into Chulbul partner. Ek baar commitment kar di to kar di. I will hear it to the very last second.
I'm honored, but I don't do these things. I respect the people who do all these things, but genuinely I'm so immersed in serving my customers that I don't think I've never thought of all these things. But yeah, we can connect. Shreya has been a very good help in your team, and thank you, Shreya, for helping, an amazing follow-up. You can connect with Shreya, and we can help you out. And I'm honored, and thanks to the guests who have listened in and given the feedback. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Mr. Kaizad, I think for the benefit of humankind, you should start your YouTube channel. Count me in as a subscriber for sure. Absolutely fantastic. What a delight. I mean,
thank you.
What a delight. What a delight to have you. Fantastic.
Pleasure was mine too. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.
Bye-bye. Yes.